you let me put it on ya. After some years jaja tuongezewa junior. Na sio long kuna siku takaribishwa Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Baby, si twende Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Ni kutowe kalif twende malewa kuoni. So karibu Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Karibu Tigoni. Twende malewa ku. Malewa ku. Malewa ku. Malewa ku. Malewa kuoni. Karibu Tigoni. Baby karibu Tigoni.
Dobuku. Tigoni. The music playing this morning is such a vibe, okay? Especially that Matata song. What's it called again? Burudika, 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 Burudika. It is indeed the Breakfast Jam with your girl, Myra Maloba, on Icon Radio, #1 entertainment flag. It is about all that TGIF vibes. We are looking forward to a fantastic show, especially as we close off the series for women in leadership. This is part 3. It has been an empowering week. For all those who have been tuning in, know what I mean. If you have not caught up yet, you can find everything you need to know, including the reruns, on our YouTube channel. That's at iconradioke, where we are indeed live right now. We're also live on www.iconradio.co.ke. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe on all our social media pages. We do appreciate the love. Man, it's been a crazy week. A lot to unpack, a lot to look at. Kenya is just, the land of content. Hatuwezi kosa content. And it has been a lot of unfortunate content, unfortunately. We'll be diving into that later on with Sylvy this morning, as she comes to give us the tea, the gossip this morning. You can find me on my Instagram, Myra Maloba Myna, and on X at Maloba. Be sure to follow. I'll definitely follow back. All right. Again, we have a nice jam-packed morning for you. We have special guests in studio. They're waiting in the background to come on in just a little bit. So stand by for that. But for now, we'll take a quick look at the weather as we get your day started off. In Nairobi, 17 degrees, mostly cloudy, humidity at 73%, going up to highs of 28 degrees later on today, looking like a partly sunny day, just how I like it. In Mombasa, 27 degrees, partly sunny, humidity at 80%. Also looking like it's going to be a partly cloudy day for you guys down at the coast. Going out to highs, though, of 33 degrees. And for those in Kisumu, it is at 22 degrees, mostly cloudy, humidity at 75%, going up to highs of 30 degrees, partly sunny as well. Looking like it's going to be clouds all around, just how the bears in the story were saying. Not too hot, not too cold, just in the middle. That's how I like my weather. I hope you're also going to be enjoying the weather today. For those on the roads, of course, we have to keep you in the know of how it's looking like. So if you're on the road or about to check out, let us see how it's looking on Jogoo Road from Makadara, areas where the traffic is quite heavy, going up until the City Stadium roundabout. For those on Thika Road, it is starting all the way from Garden City, going down and past Muthaiga, but it does ease up as you head into the city center. If you are on Langata Road, it is traffic coming. If you're coming from Rongai, that's where you're meeting traffic. However, when you do get onto the Langata Road stretch, seems to be nice and clear. Just a kidogo traffic around Timor. However, it is moving also around Nyayo National Stadium. Doesn't look too bad right about now. So this will be the time to be heading out. If you are on Gong Road, it does seem to look all right, quite all right, especially around junction, just kidogo traffic there. However, it is moving up until you get to the Daystar roundabout. That's where the traffic picks up quite a bit over there. If you are on Mombasa Road, free and clear, not looking bad at all. Just kidogo traffic you have to contend with around next gen, but after that it is good to go. Lastly, we have Uhuru Highway seems to also be nice and clear around this time. Just kidogo traffic at Chiromo, or around Chiromo rather, but going up and past the roundabout there in the middle of Westlands, it looks to be nice and clear all the way past ABC Place. All right, that's how it's looking for the roads this morning. If you do see any accidents or incidents, be sure to let us know on our WhatsApp number +254 788 380030. Let's go into the music. When we come back, we'll be touching on some of the headlines on the dailies this morning. Remember, you can always changia to the conversation +254 788 380030. But before we head into the break, I got to tell you again about our events that are coming 9th and 10th November. We're going to be at the Carnival for the Kiddie Cultural Festival. Looking forward to that. So many people are coming in wanting to be part of it. So if you want to be part of it, be sure to follow pages Kiddie Karaoke at Kiddie Karaoke on Facebook, as well as partners Asmali Media on Facebook, Instagram. Kiddie Karaoke is also on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Follow and, of course, get all the details as we seek to celebrate diversity this November. Tickets are only going for 300 bob per day for kids and 600 bob per day for parents. Lots of activities, music, singing, dancing. Man, it's gonna be one jam-packed weekend, and we're gonna keep your kids as well as yourself occupied for that entire weekend. We are the proud media sponsors of that event. Looking forward to big things coming through. We also have on the 28th of November at Achacha Hotel the Sustainability Connect event, or rather forum, that will be focused on all things ESG. So if you're within that space, it is an event you cannot afford to miss out. Tickets are now available at Fam Eve as well as Little Cub. They're going for 5,000 bob only, and you get to be part of an amazing event that has amazing panelists, amazing speakers, as well as probably an opportunity for you as a startup to pitch your projects. All right, let's go back into the music. I still have more announcements for you, but when we come back, we'll be looking at the headlines, including Sonko saying, si mimi niko na hizo titles. Apana, it is the bank. We'll be delving into that in just a little bit. Keep it right here.
Niko na visa, niko kwa simu na nasikia bashi meshika. Je, kuna madem, kuna maniga, maodine wamekuja kuchachisha. Ninajificha, sitaki picha kubabae, sitaki vita, nashikisha na mavela mabichwa, na tukishikwa jo mabel Mona Lisa. Tutoke BND, twende BNB, niko DND, usijam, I will be RB, I will be RB.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya vile inafaa. Erobog na matin. Eyonaka. Erobog na matin. vipindi na musonge kando. Esima tu sama posto chopo. Chololo, chololo. Nobody can party like we do. Wamoke girumba kokwara we blues. Kinena kalingi kipani ya sim. Meditation yaka bed ni soya design bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no. Okadwa jo machendo oh bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no. Okadwa jo machendo oh. Mi hadara decisions kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana. Zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya.
Mi hadara decisions kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana. Zimelimbu Maximus. Hey, and na. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Nico DND.
Mutoto ya Pamela.
I'll be right back. Tell him I'll be woo. You call me bitch, I heard it slip. I crushed you out, I started this shit, but go. You call me like 9,000 times. I don't pick up and you not give up like no. Even fight.
This is Icon Radio.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
So my life is a dream. Tukona ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Back then tulisota. Kwa shingo ni mabling. Na kwenye mkono ni mamota. Tukikutana kwa Malobi. I said tunagoda. Tuko cruising na ni. For real, man, you already know, man.
Tuko cruising na ni. Man, for real. Nendesha crown toka 110. Nilidapo maganji za manager. Madem hawanyoni kaonger. Wakanyona wanadai yani ler. Kiona pesa unajicompose. Wanajua nimefika jumarashi ni ya Tom Ford. Still gangster wrong rende na iko on toes. Niko mavitu flani white toka Augusto. Kwa majimi ni G, kwa beach mi ni daddy. Dem yangu kiyenyeji nilimgeuza body. Na hii dream misi wake up. Nalipa msupa njasi white wa makeup. Adi mokoro waga starbon. Ati apandi nduthi ati yeni mama skazo. Tuko cruising na mkuze. Mrenga piamu na ya zamani bado siuzi.
So my life is a dream. Tukona ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Back then tulisota. Kwa shingo ni mabling. Na kwenye mkono ni mamota. Tukikutana kwa Malobi. I said tunagoda. Tuko cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Gang cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Sasa tunakula ni mi na my amigos. Na Karinyamus Casamidos. Wacha wasemeni na maringo. Uliza jeri nilishi maringo. Shine kama meno za wizo 5-8. Ukileta zako zile za hizo Sky money na watoto wangu sio wasipo nitaonane. Elbow iko nje ya window na maubane. Side stories zetu kwa ma USB. Men my G's ni my USD. Kana nijibanda usiku ni kempiski. Na usikamta yetu aiseni kuriski. Bata ni white kama njumu zangu. Wakiuliza siri gani mina Mungu wangu. Cruising kwa mashini tuko sini gani. Oh, by the way, fuck serikali. Say my life is a dream. Tuko na ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Baden tulisota. Kwa shingoni mabling. Na kwenye mkononi mamota. Tukikutana kwa malobi. I said tunagota. Tuko cruising nani. Cruising nani. Tuko cruising nani. Cruising nani. Tuko cruising nani. Cruising nani. Tuko cruising nani. Cruising nani.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Kaka Empire is the
King Kaka with Scam Cardinali, Cruising Nani, playing right here on the Breakfast Jam. It's all about that TGIF Fridays. We are closing off our series this morning. We have amazing guests in studio that we're going to be ushering in just a little bit. But, we have to give a little bit of a breakdown of what's going down in the news. This week, again, like I told you, has given us a lot of content, but it's way too much and way too heavy. It's been... Today's Kenya is just, woo. I think we've taken in a lot and people are just getting unkind by the second. It's quite disheartening. So we'll just go straight into it. Let's look at the Daily Nation. We have Ruto, who finally spoke on the Adani deal. Remember now when it first came out that this Adani deal was happening, the government was just like, no, stop speculations. We have not confirmed anything, yet they didn't deny. As of course, speculations continue to be rife as, politicians were getting angrier and asking for questions. With that, the public were getting angrier, asking for questions. Guys like JKIA actually went on strike. It's been, I think, over 2 months of this conversation happening, and finally the president speaks. He says the deal is good for you. Now, President William Ruto has finally shown his hand, throwing his weight behind the controversial multi-billion shilling Adani deals in the energy, transport, and health sectors, which he says will help to ease the tax burden on Kenyans and reduce the country's reliance on borrowing. So he was like, basically, if we did not, do this deal with Adani, who are coming in with these billions of shillings, then we would have resorted to borrowing, which we are trying to avoid. Now, if he's speaking on it, does this mean it is a done deal? Of course, people over here look at me and are like, duh, it is a done deal. What are you asking? But I still have to ask and, wonder if indeed it's over, it's done. It is a question to be asked. Again, it's still being said that processes are being handled, whatever the case may be. But of course, there's also the information that came out this week that there are clauses made possible for this to happen. So there are clauses that allow for big deals like this to go through the process quickly. So if this president is speaking on it, does that truly mean that it's done? It's an Adani deal. I got that from Jugush. It's an Adani deal, okay? We'll get to find out as time goes, but you can read about that on page 7. We also have on page 3 of The Nation how Wells Fargo boss walked into death trap. Man, human beings have just become the worst of the worst. He went for a funeral, came back and walked into a trap. As far as what is being revealed, it also seems that his final moments were he went through a lot of brutality from just the graphic nature of what's being told on X. His car was found abandoned at a petrol station. The CCTV showing two men walking away from his car. The question is to why his HR at Wells Fargo. What could be leading to this? A lot of netizens are saying this could be reminiscent of Sando and what happened to him and the brutality he had to face as well, together with the young lady that was in his car. A lot of questions are being asked at this time, and a lot of uncertainty as people continue to be abducted and some unfortunately found unalived. Speaking of that, we still have more grave news as we have the Eastleigh killings. And you get to read on page 2 the last moments of the mother, daughter, and niece who were found unalived in different parts of Nairobi and Machakos County. Apparently, there was CCTV footage floating around of what could have happened. And yesterday, Eastleigh came to a complete standstill. Again, it was said that the last place the mother was heard from was the BVS Mall. She went there for some sort of skin treatments, and she continued to have calls from there until the calls stopped. The mother and daughter went looking for her, and unfortunately, the daughter and niece went looking for her, only to end up in the same state. So you can read details on that on page 2. And we also have why Gachagua wants judges to quit case. So he says there's a lot of conflict of interest. You'll get to read that as well in The Nation. We do have the Standard newspaper also still reporting on Gachagua. The proceedings are continuing at this time. Again, it's Gachagua against the three-judge bench, and he is raising a lot of questions. We also have Uhuru, who has been in the middle of a lot of questions. People have been raising a lot of speculations online in regards to his health, a lot. But we do have him now in Abidjan for Africa Peace meeting. You can get to read about that in the Standard newspaper. Again, on the DP, you can read on page 4 and 5. It's a race against time as DP goes for judges. Now, the impeached Deputy President Gachagua is not relenting in his push to have 3 judges withdraw from hearing consolidated cases, challenging his removal from office, even as the question of whether or not orders blocking his replacement by Kindiki Kithure have run out simmers. Lastly, we have the People Daily. At the top of the page, we have last-ditch war to save Gachagua. Now, lawyers put their heads together during the hearing of the case, challenging the impeachment of DP Rigathi Gachagua, and they're trying their best to stop this from happening. We have also police on the spot over 339 killings. Now, cases of murder increase in 2024. At least 15 abductions reported in the past 2 months, and families search for missing loved ones as state officials sit on their hands. We also have Uru in Abidjan still being reported, and relief for Kenyan facing hangman in the Gulf. Now that's on page 3. We have been reporting on it throughout the year. The young man seemingly is escaping the hangman's noose, at least for 1 year. It has been postponed for 1 year. It's supposed to be happening on the 26th of November, but interventions from the Kenyan government as well as the family of the person who was unalived during this case are not seeking to have him hanged. In fact, the family is asking, instead of hanging him, pay us 123 million, as is with Sharia law. So, of course, the family has been really trying hard to raise funds. It's been absolutely difficult. Guys have been asking for the government to intervene and just pay for that so that he is released. But again, this has been a case that has been quite drawn out, and for the sake of the Saudi and Kenya relations, they're trying to see how best to handle this without resulting to his death. That's how it's looking like for the dailies this morning. Let's go back into the music. We'll soon be ushering in our guest. Keep it right here on the Breakfast Jam.
Utakunywa nini ninunue? To my right of die. Sheri wangu mama, sheri wangu baby, nakupelekea mama, wakujue kwetu ndio baby. Sheri wangu mama, sheri wangu baby, nakupelekea mama, wakujue kwetu ndio baby, yeah.
Naze mastingo ni mengi, naweza kukuonyesha hivi uchanganyike. Sawa, ukiwa na form ni dunge brother, let me know. Location to me take me na kwa kuwa beba na mastingo. That's my stingo, that's my stingo, that's my stingo. Ukiwa na form ni dunge brother, let me know. Location to me take me na kwa kuwa beba na mastingo. That's my stingo, that's my stingo, that's my stingo. Hey, classic kama audio. Mali swafi kiru wafi shop. Hini kali kama Oji Jones. Kawi pendi tabidi umemeza tropical. Mastingo na piga munok niki audio. After us you piga party, after party stop. Akiwa front kama hadis mwambia back it up. Piga shot ya kimganzi hadi ujoni walk. Top it off na kimaji ndio si blacky bro. Kaki logo ya konyagi bado tuko strong. Tuko on kaki mwaki hawezi turn it off. CEO Nairobi City chief for Mastingo.
Ati we copper chain, okay, just let me know. He pushed infinity, the pedal to the floor. Just mastingo, yeah, mastingo, yeah, mastingo. Watch out, maswali, he Nairobi, this my lingo. Ati we copper chain, okay, just let me know. He pushed infinity, the pedal to the floor. Just mastingo, yeah, mastingo, yeah, mastingo. Watch out, maswali, he Nairobi, this my lingo. Master mastingo kahush, you know I be with mandem. Mina kaanga chini cause these homies do not stand them. Let's get lit, let's get rich, let's just make it happen. We hit licks with no tricks, but it's just like magic. Fire just like Chico, mom used to beat me with them Rico. We rain like El Nino, yeah. We score just like free throw. Till I die mastingo, mini conform with heroes. You let them, she single. Think she know my lingo, yeah. Still I need my peace, yeah. Pose for me a tease, yeah. 254 with G's, yeah. Put Kenya on my sleeve. Ati we copper chain, okay, just let me know. He pushed infinity, the pedal to the floor. Just mastingo, yeah, mastingo, yeah, mastingo. Watch out, maswali, he Nairobi, this my lingo. Ati we copper chain, okay, just let me know. He pushed infinity, the pedal to the floor. Just mastingo, yeah, mastingo, yeah, mastingo. Watch out, maswali, he Nairobi, this my lingo. It's my lingo, it's my lingo, it's my lingo, it's my lingo.
face just to look like this. God said you're an angel, angel, so bright, I'm gonna lose my mind. Moyo unapasuka,
Jonim, mi umset. Moshi za foreign zafanya jo anibeg. Moshi za foreign zafanya take to date. Moshi za foreign zafanya take
like a boss.
Alafu tunachapa dimba na kapeng joka diva. Yo, alo, good dinner asapa. Sikia area yangu kuna peng, nika hard to get. Yo shindaga maindo, maybe atoke weekend. Nasikia napenda fimbo, mumuita DNN. Korada ya kumdhidho, lazima nikapeng. Uskini mekuma, ai, cheki, nitakutap. Nimekumak, na lazima nakutap. Cheki, uskini mekumak, ai, nitakutap. Ai, cheki, nimekumak, na lazima nakutap. Baby doll, suskie nkona form. Neza kuspoil, neza kutolea form. Si ati na braga di we unanino. Baby doll, sema name ni kumwagie mado. Ai, upatikana kwa form za wanaija. Usiku Gemini kanazoza na wababa. Yotokea gatujokan kona rada. Goshodo amenibamba, hindo mali nataka. Uski nimeka zoom, nimeka ngam. Nisharada marut zote zenye yo pass. Nishajua goshodo napenda gatu kubash. Sojoni kimround na makash. Uski nimekuma, ai, cheki, nitakutap. Nimekumak, na lazima nakutap. Cheki, uski nimekumak, ai, nitakutap. Ai, cheki, nimekumak, na lazima nakutap. Hakuna kitu nachizisha kama denda. Ama niteke goshodo mwenye amebeba. Manzi yako meninuki juu ya mrenga. Kwangu kasha sarenda na jo vitu anapenda. Sikiza doba vile napumua. On the beat ni mavo bana si unajua. Kufinish kumalo na leta mizuka better than bad. Cheki ati songa kama uko ndani. Niko na mali nani amebeba kinare. Ukinidai unacheza na madolare. Ni nare juu ya nare. So baby girl nimekumak. Ai, cheki nitakutap. Nimekumak, na lazima nakutap. Cheki, uski nimekumak. Ai, nitakutap. Ai, cheki nimekumak, na lazima nakutap.
You are tuned into the Breakfast Jam with your girl, Myra Maloba. We are finishing with the last part of the 3 series, Women in Leadership. It has been quite an empowering week as we have phenomenal women in both business and in life coming into the studio and telling the stories from the book The Way She Leads. We've been covering it throughout the week and we have the authors, published authors in studio. Must be nice to say that. Thank you so much for coming into the show, ladies. I know we've woken you up early, gotten you up out early, but at least you made it to the studio, and it's such an honor to have you here. I'll allow you to introduce yourselves. We'll start with Elishiba.
Great. Thank you so much, Myra, for having us. My name is Elishiba Msengeti Poriot. I am fortunate to be one of the co-authors on this book, The Way She Leads. By way of introduction, I'm an educator. I'm a life skills and leadership facilitator, and that is my passion work, and that's I think that's my vocation. But I also am a programs management specialist, so I work at Kengen PLC as head of programs at Kengen Foundation. Yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Right.
I'm also a wife, a mother of 2, and very blessed to have this opportunity to tell my stories alongside these amazing women.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Yantoke Kayaya. God is the shepherd of my soul. I can say that I'm a very loving person. I'm result-oriented, and also I love people. In terms of my work, what I do, I help organizations to transform their sales teams into high productive teams, and through that the organizations are able to grow their sales revenue. So I usually create a win-win situation for the employees and also for the organizations.
Right.
Thank you so much, Myra, that you've invited us to be here. It's such a delight. I'm so excited,
Right.
as you said, and also I'm sure my fellow author, she's also very excited that we are now published. And yeah, we are here to give our story and believing that it's going really to, even if it's going to change just one person,
Right.
then we would have done our work.
How does it feel to say I'm a published author?
Wow. It feels like something that was so far-fetched, but
Right.
now it is here with me, like, touching this book. Like, my story is out there. It's no longer within my space.
Right.
And it has now gone to a place of impact, because once what you know leaves your surrounding to out there, then it means you're having an impact to people, and what I love about this book is that is different from other books is because it has been written by several authors. So I look at it like, a supreme pizza, whereby there's so many
Right.
flavors on it. There is Hawaiian, you'll have a bite of it. There is, if you're a meat lover, there is meat for you. If there's chicken lover, there's chicken for you. So each and every chapter gives you a biting of a lesson or an experience that is actually going to move you to the next place in terms of your leadership journey, or even just in terms of your, personal and professional development. So it's such a very powerful book for someone to just have a read on.
How does it feel for you, Elishiba?
It's quite surreal. This week, one of my friends from high school bought the book.
Oh, wow.
So she sent me a photo of the page that has the authors written.
Right.
And I got teary-eyed just seeing that, because I think it's many people dream of writing, and it seems like such a far-fetched goal or far-fetched dream. I certainly have wanted to write for a long time.
Yeah.
And had hoped that I would maybe by the time I turned 40. And serendipitously that happened this year.
Oh, wow.
And so I was very blessed and happy about that.
Right.
And I think for me it's also a testament to some of the dreams that we have. Sometimes like we can dare to dream, but also dare to begin. So when Doso offered us this opportunity, or Zion Power offered us this opportunity, one of my goals had been to write a book by myself. But I said, what if this is the way that I can start to write, and how amazing that I can do it with other women, other people. So it feels surreal and feels it's a very humbling experience. I think the excitement that everyone has had around it is actually even more humbling.
Right.
I think it's made it even more real.
Yeah.
And for me, the bigger question now is to what end? So we've written this book, and it is clearly opening other doors and opportunities for us. And I'm asking myself, and I know the other ladies are too, to what end? What are we going to use this platform for? Because it has to be bigger and greater than just publishing a book. There are many published books. Some of them are maybe not so great,
Right.
but the point has to be, what does it lead to? What does it open up for? And how can it impact lives? How can it impact others? Beyond anything, I think it's a reminder to all of us that it can be done.
Right.
That it can be done.
First of all, I think you're the first one who's brought up that question, what next? Because we never think about it. It's like, you've done it, it's there, it's immortalized in pages, but then how have you had a thought about that? And what were your thoughts around it? I'm curious.
So one of the what next is the conversations. So exactly what we are doing today. When we got this opportunity to come and be on radio, I said, I just said yes to doing a chapter in a book, but
Right.
but when we speak here, many more people are listening to us. So one of the what next is hopefully more conversations and greater impact, greater reach, and also, you know, hopefully more summits and conferences and webinars, and even maybe a road show in the end,
Right.
where we go and
the
yes, you know, we
Yes.
speak to people, and we speak to women and girls and men, because again, the book is written from a women's perspective, but the target audience is everybody, is men
Right.
and women, and you know what conversations can come out of the book is are very important. And then I think the other thing for me is that it has given me the impetus, maybe, or the courage or the belief that I can document even more parts of my story and of my experiences for the good of others, and hopefully inspire others to also document their stories. So
Right.
any of our friends or family members or colleagues or anybody who's seeing that, you know, a book has been done, they definitely are now, I hope, thinking, what if I could also publish my story somewhere? And it doesn't have to be in a book, it could be in a blog, it could be a docu-series. I mean, now with the media, the way it's going, you have multiple ways of telling your story to the world, for greater good. For greater good.
Actually, Amazon has now made it possible. I was reading about this like a few days ago. They're very possible for you to be able to publish your journals and get paid for it. Like I think about $10 per, and you can do like about 3 or 4 a week or whatever. And the possibility has been made even greater, as you were saying. And even for Sianto, you were saying, Sianto, you were saying that once you started writing, you realized you had more to say.
Yes.
And I don't know, were you given a set number of pages, or you get given a set number of numbers like in school? Like, and how much more did you feel like you wanted out there?
Yeah. It's maybe I can just go back to how I started. When you're told to write this book, immediately imposter syndrome visits you.
Right.
You know, you just start saying, I don't think I can write this book. I don't have the content. Until the time now you start writing, you find out that you actually have more to say. You know, life is a journey, and we go through life experiences, the lessons that cannot actually be captured within 3,500 words, because that was the limit that we had. I remember when I gave out my article, it was more than that. I was just wishing you could accept it, but of course I had to go back to the required number.
Right.
But I like that, because what it has done, it has actually planted a seed for me that I still have more to share. I still have more to share with society that can impact people. Even if, for me, I have this philosophy that even if my story can just impact one person, that is a changed person. That is one changed person, and that makes life a better place to be. So it has given us a platform, the way we usually say that a place, you've been given a table, a place to sit on. This is a place of writing that Zion Pearl Publishers has given to the ladies. And it's like it has given us a yes to continue moving forward. Not just to write another book on your own, but also to engage in these conversations. We've been holding webinars, we've been really drubbing it out through, webinars, and also now that we are here at Icon Radio, and we are planning to be out there, because our story will not be a story of impact if it remains with us. So we are really planning to be out there and also to celebrate ourselves.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing about imposter syndrome. It makes you not be excited about your achievements.
Yes.
You know, now it starts telling us, the first time authors, no, you've just written a chapter in a book. No, you're not really a full author, but I am.
You are.
Yeah, so we have to really celebrate our achievements. We have to celebrate the effort, and also the courage of just being out there and being able to be vulnerable with our story. And that is a healing point for me.
In fact, that's a lesson for a lot of people, not only just women. Learn to speak about your achievements. It's not a brag. It's you've done it, and you never know which doors it opens into more possibilities. Like taking the shower. I think I've told all the women who've been here this week, you guys take this show on the road because it's impactful. Your stories are impactful. And I was saying, like, each and every one of your stories, you hear them and you look back and you're like, it's literally art imitating life or life imitating art, because it's happening to you or it's happened to you in one way or another. And the relatability to all your stories is so palpable. It's amazing. That's why even women who have been watching have been gravitating highly towards the series, because your stories are so real and so relatable. So kudos, first of all, for being willing to be out there and to be vulnerable and to speak. Now, Siento, your chapter reads, define your day's level of performance.
Yes.
Break it down for us.
Yes. So that article was inspired by the seasons that a woman in leadership, we can actually just say also a man, so that we're not leaving them out. Seasons that we go through. Yes, so there are those seasons when we're out there working, we have a business that is running, we have a job that is running, and then there's also another season where life takes a pause on you. You know, whereby you're now required to just, you're not even required, sometimes you just find yourself there, that your life has taken a pause. You no longer have activities to run during the day. You no longer have an office to go to. You no longer have a business to go to. And you are this woman who is, okay, when I say woman, let's just assume, let's just say, put stroke.
Right. Let's even just go with
so
women.
that they don't feel we are leaving them out.
It's okay.
Yeah, so you're used to having a lot of activities during the day, and now you are at a place whereby you don't even know where to go to. So I found myself in both seasons. Of course, I have a business running, I'm training and I'm coaching people. And also previously when I used to work in the corporate sector, my life was thriving and I was moving and I was so busy. And then I reached a point where I took a break, not intentionally, because we hear this statement that life happens. So it happens. And as a woman in leadership, when you find yourself in that place where a pause has happened, I used to wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. because I'm used to waking up early in the morning. I look through the window, I'm just seeing lights on, but Siento has nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. So at that particular point, you are so confused. You have lost your identity. With time, you don't even know your value, because the value that you used to wake up and show up and to do, it's no longer there. So your value is just within your vicinity, your room or your house or your sitting room, and it's not a nice place to be. So that chapter speaks about both seasons, when you're up thriving and now when life has taken a pause on you. So what happens? I found myself asking myself, what happens? Will I be waking up every day and look through the window? Will I be going back to bed because I have nothing to do, because life has happened, I have taken a pause? Will I be, just cry and be in a victim mentality the whole day? Life is moving, time is moving, it's not waiting for Siento. So what happens when you're in that space? So I found that I would wake up in the morning and I found myself in that negative space. I'm feeling bad about myself. I'm beating myself down. I'm saying this can never change for me. Just all the bad things.
Were you seeing the world moving around you at the same time? Because I can so relate. Were you like, was it at a time where, social media was just also weighing you down at the same time?
Yes. Now, the thing with social media is it comes in. It's at that particular point, it's like a positive distraction, because you just find yourself moving from one social media to the next. You're just going through it, and you're seeing, let me just talk about it. You're seeing that people's life are moving. People are maybe they're celebrating. They're saying, "I've gotten a promotion," or they've started a new business, and for you, you're there lost. You don't even know what is your next step. So I found myself being in that space of just going through the social media, and I thought it's helping me. but it doesn't really help me to come out of that space.
Right.
So my chapter is about when you're in that life pose, when you're in that space of thriving, what are these hijackers, hijackers? Because for me, they were hijacking my day. I wake up and I'm on social media.
Yeah.
I wake up and I have negative emotions. I wake up and I have fear of people. You know, I wake up and I just felt so lost.
Right.
So I had the good. What I thank God for is that because I'm in that space of personal development, I know what someone needs to do for you to become successful.
Oh, that's nice.
And I realized if I continue staying like this, nobody's coming to pick me up. Actually, the phones, my phone, the number of calls reduced. You know, there's this thing, sorry if I'm taking long, but there's this thing about having knowledge about something and understanding of it and experiencing it. So you have the knowledge when people say, by the way, you know, when you're on that season, your phone will stop ringing. Actually, it will.
It will.
So when it happens, now the understanding and the experience happens.
Right.
So this book, my chapter talks about those hijackers. So we have to rise above those days hijackers by defining your day and being intentional by how you show up, so that if you're in that space, you're able to come out of it. And if you are in the space where you're thriving, then you can do more.
Right.
Yeah.
It's finding that balance, though. You know, when you were talking, I realized the entire world found themselves in that dry period during COVID. We all found ourselves there, and we all didn't know how to navigate. And a lot of us didn't know how to move forward till now from that season, because you were so used and so set in your ways. And you know, I wake up in the morning, you know, go to work, do this and that and the other, and then things just suddenly changed. And a lot of people found themselves stuck. And mental health now became an issue now that was highly talked about. People's homes now, which used to be a safe haven when you go back home, was no longer safe. And Elishiba, you had mentioned about, you know, times that you've even written and spoken about it. Just delving away from your chapter, you've been able to speak about issues of GBV and SGBV before. How is it how are you able to translate, especially for women who have had to go through it during a time of isolation and coming out of it?
Well, I don't know where to begin. The issue of SGB, so sexual and gender-based violence, is such a painful topic, and also such a real topic for many women and girls, and also for men and boys.
Yes.
In fact, now we are seeing it becoming more rampant, you know, for men and boys.
Yeah.
And there are so many layers to it. So of course there's the agency. How empowered are people? Do they know where to go for help? Number one. I shared recently in my estate we have a ladies group, and so at work we had they brought this lady who speaks, what's her name? She rescues women. I'm just forgetting her name.
Jerry Wamegui.
Jerry Migui, yes. So when we had a webinar at work that had been organized for the ladies at work, and the information that we got there, the hotline and all that, I immediately was sharing it in the ladies groups that I'm in. Why? Because many of us sit in the comfort of normalcy, and you never know when that normal will change. Number one. Number two, a lot of people sometimes don't even know where to go for help. So one of our duties is, if you have information, share it with the people in your circle. Someone might not even thank you publicly, but you've helped them. You've helped them. The other part of it is being able to read the signs, you know, for when is the relationship starting to become abusive, for example. And sometimes we see those signs and we ignore, because as they say, you know, love is blind and whatnot. But more importantly, Myra, is for many people who end up being in abusive relationships, and that those abusive relationships could even be family relationships. So you're being beaten by your father or your mother, not just your partner,
even sometimes your children.
Even yes, right. So there are people who, and a big part of it is the financial or economic stability or instability. That's what sometimes keeps people there, and that's also what sometimes even rids people of their own dignity. So you even start to think, maybe I deserve this, maybe I am not worthy. I mean, maybe this is what was written for me. So my hope, actually, and even as we did this, because I was part of the Inuadada group at that time, I think it was 2019, 2020, we were doing some work with Janet Bugwa. And a big part of that work was really to how do we make people aware of where they can go for help, and also how do you build agency in people. So you find for many of us, maybe we are very confident, and you're confident in who you are, and so you're able to say, no, I'm not, this is not my cup of tea. You're even able to get yourself out of harm's way. But that's not the case for many people, and it is our duty to help and equip every woman, man, and boy and girl, to have those tools to be able to get out of those relationships or get out of those situations and seek help. The other aspect of it, which you rightly say, during COVID, it happened because, again, people were in close quarters. Some people were fortunate, of course. The houses maybe are big and everyone is in their room and with their own TV, and you have Wi-Fi. But for majority of people, that was not the case. You're suddenly in this one room together, and probably you've lost either your job or your business, and so already the stress levels are high. So you even friction happens that never happened before, that never was there before. And the reality of it is that COVID was one such season, but that doesn't mean it won't happen again. There'll be many other seasons in our lives, maybe not as worldwide as COVID was, but there'll be many seasons in our lives where things change, where things pause, where situations change. And so the tools that we need, the self-awareness, the self-agency, all those things we need, and we need to build them in the seasons of plenty, in the seasons of peace, in the seasons of activity, because we will need them in the other season. So you don't like when you're what's the word I want to use, even when we say we're saving for a rainy day, you're saving when you have plenty. And it's the same way we build ourselves in those seasons. And to Sianto's point, when she talks about what do you do in the season of success and what do you do in the season of not success, and in the season of success, I think it is so crucial when things are going well, when your friends, family, money, career, health, I mean, whatever your things are, whatever you quantify or qualify as success, that is when you also need to be building yourself and others and those you love for the seasons that will not be the case. There'll be a season where you lose loved ones, perhaps, and you never had built that resilience or how to deal with grief. I mean, we have to constantly be preparing for the seasons of plenty and for the seasons of lack.
Rightfully so that you wrote the chapter Falling, Feeling and Feeding the Soul. You've literally just walked right into it. You segued so beautifully. Just that planning. It's already hard thinking about having to plan, especially when you're a season of family, having your kids. You're always constantly, always, because it's an investment into your family, whether it's even just your husband. Yeah, we say our husbands are our first child, and then now come the rest. But you're constantly in that space of having to think about the next day and the next day. In fact, both of your chapters fit into each other because it's all about defining and planning, and of course nobody knows what the future holds. But now, how do you allow yourself, like you said, falling, feeling, and feeling and so? Because you have to allow yourself to be able to fall first.
Yeah, so I mean that, yes, that's the title of my chapter, is falling, feeling, and feeding the soul. And the falling bit, I think we're all familiar with. Failure is inevitable, and I have seen that the best lessons I have learned and the most wisdom I have gained has been probably in those moments when things haven't gone so well, because that's when we draw back into ourselves and ask, what could I have done better? Might I have a gap in my knowledge? Might I have a gap in my character? Because there's two things. There's what you know, but there's also what you are. And what you are is not static. It can change. It can change, and you can change it. And that's one of the things that I have learned, especially in my journey of work and leadership. And I talk about it in the chapter as well. Being teachable. Okay, so you cannot be the same person that you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You cannot be making the same mistakes. And I talk about how teachability is a mindset, and it comes with humility. You're not saying you're foolish, but you're saying, I don't know everything, and I need to be taught. There are things you need to be taught. Recently we were talking about when you have a child as a woman. And I remember when I had my first child, my mom-in-law came, and then my mom came, and there were things they were teaching me that were not in any book. They're not, you need to be taught. There are things you need to learn, through the seasons that you go through in life. And the teachability, I think, is also a very good mindset to have, because it removes some of that arrogance that we get, especially as we go higher in our careers or in our business or in whatever field we are in. So that's the bit that is very crucial in the falling. And why I talk about falling is because I think the way I would describe my journey is there have been very many successes and very many what shall I say, accolades that I'm so grateful for. But within them, there's always something that I think, oh my gosh, I didn't do. I ended up hurting somebody, or I ended up fumbling this opportunity that I had, or I ended up letting down a group, that was relying on me for something. And it's very easy to beat yourself over it, and I do. But also, what is the lesson? What's the lesson? So the lesson part, because this book is a lot about the lessons and insights from women who lead. The feeling part, falling and feeling, is about leading with your heart and leading with empathy and compassion and sympathy. So I'll give you the example where I work at Kengen. We have scholarship programs, right? So education scholarship programs. And you interact with students, you're interacting with parents, you're interacting with communities. So when a parent calls and tells me, and I say, I need you to send me your fee structure, the fee structure for your child. This parent tells you their phone does not have WhatsApp. Okay? Yeah, that's the reality. So I cannot be like, you just figure it out how you're going to send me that document. I don't. No. My goal is to get that fee statement so that we can pay the fees for this child whose life we are changing, so that he or she can also impact other lives. Bigger picture, right? So my role there, my leadership role, is to guide this parent. Say, maybe you can go to a cyber, maybe you can get someone else to scan this document for you. That's the empathy and the compassion, and the leading with your heart and mind as well, and being able to see people as humans when they're coming to you, and when you're leading, You're leading humans. When you see your team having maybe they're not performing, leading with empathy is trying to go under and find out, okay, so what else is going on? And then you discover this person is dealing with a sick parent, or their relationship was on the rocks, or something is happening that is affecting them and the way that they perform, and they can't separate themselves from it. So as leaders, the feeling part becomes very important. Of course, we need to lead with our mind, but I strongly believe the heart has to be there.
Exactly.
And the feeding the soul, I think I've already talked about it. It's
in
just
fact, we'll delve into that. We need to go on a small break and then delve deeper into that. But the feeling part, as in even, just that being an empath.
Yeah.
You find you're able to, for the results you want, you desire to get out of somebody, you're able to get a lot more through just understanding and then guiding them in the way you think would help them.
Yeah, and putting yourself in their shoes.
And putting yourself in their shoes. Like I think we talked about this entire week, Gen Zs are the biggest expressors of their feelings. They don't hold back. In fact, when we come back, we're coming back to talk about two things, the feeling and the feeding, because I think we still need to just delve a little bit deeper into that. We are talking with the authors of The Way She Leads. If you do have any questions or comments, we share this up on WhatsApp number +254 788 380030, as well as our YouTube comment section. Would love to hear from you. Keep it right here on The Breakfast Jam as we continue on with the series.
Now your waist. Now I'm a hope I'm at you, baby. I never seen another you, baby. I got my eyes on you, yeah. I pull up on you, yeah. I feel like I know you. Champagne wanna pour for you. When you move on like so let me put my hands on your waist, girl. I love how you shake me more than you kill him with a different style. Every time you bust a wine so fine, you're ready, no. Baby, so when you're Natasha, when you're Bukula, I'm a best I to love too. Wanna watching guy in you, watching the shit, Lulupa. In a sauce, and a sauce, and a sauce, and a left. Wahala, 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 fire, papa. Wahala for the thing you find up, papa. Somebody stop that. Find mommy, want that. Wahala, 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 fire, papa. Wahala for the thing you find up, papa. Somebody stop that. Find mommy, want that. Your body said too bad, but you get wahala. You just they make me kolo. Ibadi ni joa, to bati ready, baby me bere kojo. Ekolopa ekwe soldier, it's an emergency. They say troublemaker. Say she come for the party, almost sexy, looking for money maker. I should lock you down tonight, cause you carry contraband. You dey pour some kind of wine, we are no fee understand. But she gon' come around, baby, lori gon'. I'm gonna take you home tonight. Unnecessary, oh di don. Wahala, wahala, wahala for your papa. Wahala for the thing you wind up proper. Somebody stop that. Find mommy, want that. Wahala, wahala, wahala for your papa. Wahala for the thing you wind up proper. Somebody stop that. Find mommy, want that.
You see the pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. Pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. Baby come down, no. Mali ni ready to find, I know. They don't spare this design, I know. But don't stay out any die more. You wanna roll with a baddie. You wanna call me a shawty, yeah. So let me wind up my body. Have the time of your life when you see the pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. Pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama.
What's your plan? We could go wherever. Us against them, me and you together. You said you wanted me, nah, in my pretty designer. Not a girl like Diana, nah. That's why me time me get tighter.
Yeah. You see the pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. Pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama. Pretty girl come kuna vile unazama. Baby tulia kweli utawezana. You see the girl dem unastama. You see the girl dem unastama.
Pombe
Trash Band doing their version of Pombe Sigara. Let me tell you, the voices that emanate from that group, they just evoke yani, just the soulfulness of like the 70s and the 80s in their band doing it today. Of course, putting Kenya on the map with rock music. For those who don't know, rock is alive and thriving in Kenya. And you need to just put yourself in the know because guys are doing amazing things creatively and musically. We are the Breakfast Jam. We got Myra and Maloba. We are continuing on, or actually finalizing this amazing series of women in leadership. We've been doing it throughout the week. Had amazing women turned authors who have proudly come to tell us their stories. And of course, I appreciate each of your stories and vulnerability as you tell them. So thank you for being willing to share. We have with us the publisher who has joined in the conversation. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so very much. My name is Dosso Radido. I am the founder and director of Zion Publishers. The team behind this amazing work that we are doing here. So our mission is pretty simple: shine a spotlight on those who have not been highlighted before. Pick from their experiences and their lessons as a way of informing the ongoing conversations and even informing the kind of intervention that we are coming up with. Because as long as we are not listening to the ground, then whatever you're trying to put down there as interventions will never work. And if it does work, we will have to really struggle with it.
Right.
That's it.
Before we get into the vision you had for this book and putting these women together, we were talking about Elishiba's chapter, Falling, Feeling, and Feeding the Soul. We talked about falling. We wanted to just talk about kidogo into feeling. Now, with feeling, it has changed. And let me tell you, there's one person who has seen it for himself, and in the most toughest of ways, is one of the top presidents, because he saw feelings emanating throughout the year.
That's right.
And probably he was over there shell-shocked as to how this could be happening. But a lot of us also are witnessing it in the workplace. We're witnessing it in our homes. The way of communicating has changed. How then do we adapt to that change of the people that we're dealing with and adapting to their feelings to be able to get the optimal results out of it?
I think that the leading with empathy becomes very important, but I think part of it is always interrogating the genesis of whatever people are feeling. So anytime, for example, I see somebody on TV speaking and maybe it's, their home has been, burnt down, for example,
Right.
and they're crying. So what they're feeling is, of course, there's sadness, there's frustration, there's despair, there's all those things, and that's what you need to address. Even some of the anger we saw, for example, with the Gen Zs, it's because it's expectations have not been met.
Right.
There's a disappointment with the leadership.
Right.
In the workplace, I would say that it's always important. For example, if somebody is exhibiting, like I said, signs of maybe lethargy, they've started to not be as excited about the work,
Right.
or even their attitude has become negative. I think it's always important to interrogate what's the underlying root of
Right.
that. And I think it's a big part of performance management as well. When you start seeing a team either not doing what they used to do or not pulling together like they used to, it is a sign. It's a sign of something else that is happening.
Right.
There are times when what somebody is expressing, for example, they've started maybe to have an attitude, what we call an attitude. So you can't tell them anything.
Yeah.
It might be stemming from how much you've praised them. Maybe they now feel they know everything, so you maybe have to interrogate as a team leader or as a team, how do we give feedback in a way that still leaves room for somebody to grow, so they don't feel like they've reached. There's a lot of organizations also now have the mental health aspect,
Yes.
where people can actually speak to somebody, because we've seen people jumping off buildings, you know, which is very sad. We've seen people resorting to alcohol or substance abuse just because they don't have a way of coping with life. And that's why the tools become so important, Myra. And when I say the tools, I'm talking about the how you build resilience, how you build your ability to cope with the disappointments, because all these are part of life. As rosy as we'd love life to become, are there opportunities for people to share and talk about what they're doing, what they're feeling, or how they're doing. The other aspect is for work environment, again, because that's what we are talking about. Do people get breaks, or are we going from project to project to project, bam, bam, bam? Do we have some form of appreciation when something has been completed? We finish, we appreciate people, and then we go to the next project, because those are some of the things that end up affecting people's morale. When somebody is having something going wrong at home or on the home front, you may not, as the team leader, necessarily be able to solve it, but you can link them to someone. You can link them to HR, you can link them to, I don't know, finance, whatever it is, maybe the issue it is, because that's what is going to also impact the performance of your team. And I've seen this even as a parent as well, being able to read what your children are feeling, what your spouse is feeling, you know, and where is it coming from, and being sensitive to that. There's leadership in that. There's leadership in being able to read that and respond to it, and respond to what is underlying. And sometimes you don't have the necessary tools, but you can refer. You can take someone, you can refer them to someone, maybe a counselor, you know, somebody who is more trained and professional in that field. The feeding the soul is what we are talking about, for example, social media, and what are you feeding yourself? Those things, man, they impact you. I mean, from morning to night, you wake up and boom, you're seeing, I am excited to announce that I have now, you know, and I'm moving to Greece. I mean, whatever, man, Santorini, I don't know. There's so much, right? And we have to be so intentional and careful of what we are feeding our minds and our souls. And we also must have the responsibility. We are responsible for ourselves to a large extent. We say macho hayana pazia, you can't, you know, cover the eyes, but to a large extent there are some things that you can move away from. You can leave some groups, you can block some people if they've stopped serving you. There was a time I lost my job. I guess everybody and their mother has a story of losing a job, but so there's a time I lost my job just before COVID. So I usually say I wasn't working from home during COVID. I was jobless from home during COVID. And I had remained I was looking at the statuses of my former colleagues. And so before COVID, so they were going for all these workshops, and they're posting their certificates, and they're having a social event, and it's exactly what I want to do, where I want to be. And it was draining me. It was making me more and more, you know, depressed and sad. And my husband told me, you need to stop looking at those statuses. You need to leave some of those groups, because I remained in some of the groups because I didn't want to lose the relationships, because some were friends beyond just being colleagues. But at the end of the day, it was doing something to my soul. It was tearing away at me and at my soul. And I had to actively leave some of those groups and block some of those statuses, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because of the space I was in. It was not healthy, and that's not what I needed. And so sometimes we need to do that, and it doesn't have to be offensive. It's not a fight. It's just that for this season of my life, this is not healthy. This is not healthy. And also, when you've moved away from that, the question is, what are you replacing it with? So what is the content that you're consuming? What are you reading? What are you watching? That's important. If I take someone's phone and we look at your feed, it affects you. It affects how you show up, how you experience life, how you live. Some of it limits you, you know, because
following small-minded things and small-minded people,
right?
If there's such a thing. So
Yeah.
the feeding the soul is something intentional. It's something continuous. It's something that never ends. And that's why I said who we are is not static. Who we are is constantly changing and
evolving.
And we have to be intentional about it.
Man, that is very, very true. Sianto, then, with that being said, how do we now tie this in to be able to get the best out of our performance? Because, like you said, now define your days. It's hard. Again, it's being intentional about it. The intention is always right. Like, you know, tomorrow I'm going to do this, that, and the other. But then you sometimes don't reach it. How do you stop yourself from feeling down about it? And then how do you plan on now getting the best out of your performance?
Yes. So how do you define your day's level of performance? It starts by having a time schedule. If you don't schedule your day, those feeds that she's talking about, those groups that she's talking about will actually hijack your day.
Right.
So it starts by being having a vision for your life. If it's work, what do you want to achieve from there? So you work from having the end in mind, then you work from there. So you have to also come up with habits that supports where you're going to. That is how you get in control of your life. Because for example, you want to lose weight, and you don't have a schedule or a nutrition that you're following. And then the pizza we are talking about, this is a good pizza for the book, the one you're talking about. But now you get enticed by other things that really are not supporting where you want to go.
Right.
So human beings, yes, the way she has said, we are very malleable. Like, we have the capacity to grow, but also we have the capacity to pick up things that don't really work for us. So how do we have that in control? Is being intentional. Is being aware of what is happening around you.
Right.
You can no longer just work from a point whereby you are allowing that autopilot space. You have to move from that space so that by the end of the day you have something to celebrate about. Because also, if you don't do that, by end of the day you'll feel like it has been a terrible day. Why? You did not achieve anything. There's nothing really tangible you can see.
Right.
Why? How did you start the day? How even did you start your day from the previous evening? Did you have a plan for the day? So it has to be very, very intentional on how you want your end to be.
Right.
Because when you have a good ending, then you'll be motivated for tomorrow. So that is how you define your day.
So working backwards.
Yes.
Start with the end result,
then you
work yourself out from there.
Yes. And also for me, in the chapter I've spoken about the hijackers. Yes,
I like that word. The things that hijack your
they
day.
hijack you. And one that was very that really affected myself is about the fear of people's opinion that I've captured in the book. And how I make my clients just to discover if they're in that trap is I just ask them to picture this. If there was no one in this world, there was no one surrounding you, what would you do today?
Right.
If there was nobody to judge you, if you're just using your own creativity to run your day and to define your day, how will it be? So from that space, you start defining your day and coming up with the habits, coming up with the task that is aligned to that, to your creativity, but not setting off your day when it's aligned with people's opinion. Maybe what someone said about you, maybe last month, maybe someone just mentioned that you're not intelligent.
Right.
And that fed into your soul. Just what she said. It feeds into your soul. And let me tell you, as much as you might tell yourself, okay, let me ignore that statement, that's not me. Do you know when you are in a corporate setting, for example, if it's in a meeting, and people are discussing a particular issue, and then you're not able to speak up because there's that voice that is whispering to you, you're not smart, you're not intelligent. So you keep quiet. So that is a hijacker of the day. Fear of people's opinion.
Right.
And it gets stuck to you. So this is what I'm saying, let's rise above. So in the book, there's a lot of you know, the tools and the ways. How do you break out of that? So in my chapter, all those things I've listed as hijackers. There's also a way to break free. So I'm just urging
Guys,
all of us to read.
Yes,
Yeah.
no spoilers.
Yes.
So you brought this project together. What prompted you?
Well, you see, I've been an ardent follower of the conversation around diversity, equity, inclusion, etc. And then there's one thing I know for sure. We live in the same world, it's men and women, but we don't experience it the same way. I never knew that until the day I started having conversations with women. And I have, for the last 3 years, I think, almost every single day I've spoken to a woman. That's a lot of data. And I ask questions, I listen to what they're saying, etc. So from where I sit, I know for sure we are not in the same world. The way
so you just openly let them talk and you sit back and listen.
Yes. You
That's
see,
a lot.
you see the things they're saying. and I like what she just said about,
Sorry.
about sending leadership into how people feel. Who looks at leadership that way?
Right.
Because traditionally we've looked at leadership from the lenses of men. And then we think leader is boss, leader is top, leader is up there, taking care of the big things. But it's possible to actually send leadership into the tiny things that really, form the fabric of who we are, because that affects how we show up and how we deploy ourselves around assignments, etc. So when the conversations about inclusion and women involvement, etc., are going on, every time we make the mistake of measuring things up using the male standard.
Right.
Which is why we keep getting it wrong all the time. If you look at the conversation around the 2/3 gender rule, we understand that thing quantitatively by the numbers.
Right.
And you see, that's a male mind. We look at the general things, the figures. So they will tell you, we have 3 women in the board. That's enough. So the question that somebody should ask is, what is the quality of that? How much power do they wield? Do they actually feel like they have any power? And when they speak, do people care to listen what they are saying about? And when they have spoken and people have listened, do we take what they are saying seriously?
Right.
Do we really understand what it means to be a woman? Because you see, if we don't really understand what that really means, there is no intervention you're putting up that will work. For example, you know that the 2/3 gender rule is not working. We are just lying to ourselves. Actually, we are doing things to just satisfy the legal requirements,
Right.
so that we are not caught off the whatever.
It's good on paper.
So we'll make appointments here, and then we'll position people in front of cameras and say, you see,
Right.
it's working.
Yes, we're doing it.
Yes, but if you look at the actuality of that, actually it's not working. We still have a huge lot of women who are still feeling suffocated.
Right.
They are still feeling ignored. They're still feeling like their voice is not being heard.
Yeah.
Despite all the noise that they make. So this project creates a platform where we can actually begin to amplify that voice. Because if we put it in a book, we'll force people to interact with it longer. You know, these books will be here 100 years from now. I'm sure these books will be on somebody's shelf someday, and people will be reading,
Right.
and they'll be getting that.
It's a great manual, actually.
Yeah. When we package it this way, we can send it to boardrooms, we can send it to classrooms, we can send it anywhere we want it to go. Because when it comes this way, it has very, very little feminine threat. When we send her, they will say, here comes a woman.
Interesting.
But when we send this, they'll say, this is a book, no problem with that.
Right.
Let's read the book.
Right.
And then you'll begin to interact with their wisdom, you'll begin to interact with their concerns, you'll begin to interact with their aspirations, and hopefully people will begin to understand.
Right.
Because this has never happened. This has never happened. The few that got the opportunity to document what they know are either very prominent people or people that the media has picked interest in.
Right.
How about people like these ones who have lots of wisdom? You've had for yourself.
So
Plenty
much
of
so.
insights. And a lot of it has been buried for many, many years. So what I know about women is that we we underraise them, we underemploy them, we undermarry them, but then eventually we overbury them. So the one thing that happens about women is overburying. We bury everything about them, but when they're still alive, we don't exhaust everything they brought.
I'm gonna cut this out and put it just out there so that it's spread, so that people get to understand more. Because what you said is actually really profound, and coming from a man, it's refreshing to hear. How did you find all these incredible women? Because let me tell you, the privilege of hearing them talk, other than just reading the book, it's something else.
Yeah.
How did you manage to, and what is the process like picking them for the book?
Well, we actually began to hunt them down. And I'm using the word hunting so intentionally, because there are so many exceptional women out here doing amazing things in small pockets of places, and they are found all over the place. Everywhere they are there, but none of us is talking about them because they are not big enough to be talked about. You know, that's one of the biggest problems we have as a society.
Right.
That somebody has to be big enough for us to talk about them. We do not know how to make them big and then talk about them, or just go down where they are and talk about them because there is greatness within them, you see. So we began to look for them, and we have a target of reaching to about 10,000 of them. That's a huge community of people.
Yeah.
So we have largely used LinkedIn, because in LinkedIn it's very, very good because people are already talking about themselves. So you just pick it from where they have left it.
Right.
I am so and so, this is what I do, and this is the kind of stuff I do. Of course, you can even follow their thoughts through the things that they post, etc.
Yeah.
So we reached out to these ones, and interesting statistics coming out of that as well. So many women out here doing amazing things, but they don't even believe in themselves. If you tell them, by the way, this is who you are, they don't even believe. They ask you, do you mean I'm that big? So you ask yourself, well, you've never known, yet you've lived with yourself all this while.
Right.
So many of them have been conditioned in such a way that they actually have to be reminded that you are great, that you can do this thing. And some of them have to be told that, you know what, this is who you are, and it looks nice. Most of them will actually brush that thing off and say, soft, you're just flattering me. But it's not flattery, it's true.
Right.
It looks like a flattery until it comes into a book like this and somebody reads and say, wow, this is wise. This is beautiful. So we reached out to them and we spoke to so many of them. These ones are the ones who said yes. Interestingly, many women do not know how to say yes.
No, it's true. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. The only area they're doing very good with their yeses is the relationship, marriage stuff. That's not the only yes you can do. There are millions of yeses. Opportunities require yeses. Promotions require yeses. Greatness require yeses. You know, anything you desire to achieve, if you don't show up with a yes first, I'm telling you, it will not be a reality.
That is true.
So these ones said yes. And look at what's going on. Even we didn't even know that we'd be in a studio like this.
Right.
But it's all riding on that yes that they gave us, and then we also said yes to them, and we said yes to the process, and here we are.
Right. Interesting. Did it turn out the way you had hoped?
Well, yes, it did. But of course, I am still a frustrated man because I would have wanted to see a lot more women than what we are seeing today.
Okay.
Do you know why that's very important? That's very important because we are limited in time. We are actually inching very, very close to burying a lot of resources. And I'm going to use that word again very intentionally.
Right.
If we don't exhaust it, it will be buried. That is where it ends.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
And there are things that we carry in ourselves that are actually investments that should go into the future, into the next generation. It's okay to make your life comfortable, but it is not okay for you to deny the next generation a bit of that investment that you came to this world to actually deposit, so somebody can ride on that. You see, if your parents didn't spend a bit of their lives into you, you probably would not be here today. So many of them are still not willing to get out of that shell because they are comfortable with being women.
Right.
I spoke to a lady the other day and she told me one of the biggest problems that women have is that they are fantasizing this whole idea of being women, and they're wasting a lot of time in that. Wow, that is so huge coming from a woman. Wow, you see, because women have constructed things around themselves that actually denies them the opportunity to actually show up and live. Most of them are not actually living,
right?
You know, so my frustration comes from the fact that I wanted more yeses than we have seen today. Because we are actually behind schedule. For a 60-year-old nation like this,
right,
we should have a lot more of this conversation going on.
True.
And we should have a lot more of the resourcefulness of women being tapped into.
Yeah.
How can we be fighting them when we are 60? I expect a 60-year-old person to have good understanding of life and things, and know this is a resource. I should not be fighting it, because I'm telling you, until we come to a place where the gender fight stops, we are still wasting ourselves, and that is affecting both us and the generations that are coming after us.
I love it. It's great to hear your insights on why you came together with this. I love the fact that you said that we are burying our resources. That is a great statement in itself, because yes, we do not have the luxury of time, and with each fleeting day we are leaving with us whatever we have gained. And I hope for more projects like this, because it's amazing for the wisdom that you guys impact, and it's from your own lives that you bring this together. And even I was telling them, like, they should really take this thing on the road, like
oh, it should.
Yeah, because it has inspired so many people this week, and it's just from the couple of hours that we've had speaking here. And a lot of people who require a lot more, and there are people who are actually hungry for what they have to say. So, man, kudos for this project. It's an amazing thing that you've done. I wish we had more time to be able to, speak further, but you're welcome anytime to the studio to at least, continue to give us the gems that you've been dropping all week. Now, for the launch of the book, when is it happening?
Well, we have the launch coming up on the 1st of November, which is next week on Friday, from 2 p.m. at the Trademark Hotel. We are so honored to have Eva Moriah gracing the occasion. And what I like about this is that it's going to be an environment where a lot more women will be woken up. I really want to see people woken up. You see, when I was young, one of the most important things that my mother did to me was wake me up. Just wake me up. One day I asked my mom, why don't you allow me to sleep? She told me, if I let you sleep, days will come and go, and you will never know that they came and went, and you will never actually be able to contribute to them.
Right.
There are so many women who are still sleeping. They are sleeping in this shell called a woman that has been defined by society, etc. So that day is going to be an exciting day, because there are some people who will pick their ignition from there. And when somebody has caught fire, they become dangerous. They become very dangerous, and that's when they actually begin to contribute to life. If you look at the generational impact of waking people up, I'm telling you, for example, whoever took James Mwangi to school and supported him to become who he is today, God bless them. Look at what James is doing, and look at how many families are going to be affected, not just now, but look at the generational impact of that. So what we are doing today, in my opinion, is going to have a very huge generational impact. There are some prominent women that will come up because of the ignition that they will pick from this.
100%.
Some of them are even picking it from the conversation we had, because we don't know what this signal is doing to somebody, whoever they are, whatever they are listening.
100%. What do we look forward to on the day? You've just ignited us with it. You must come to this event. What can we look forward to on that day? Are we going to be having more conversations around the book?
Yes, we will have, and you see, these are two of them. There are 13.
13, yeah.
I know you've had an opportunity to interact with some of them. That day we'll have all of them in the house. What I know for sure is that we will not have enough time, because the amount of time we are planning and the amount of things we want to do, they can't match. But whoever can make it, just come and interact with these people. Some of you will actually be provoked just by seeing that these are people who just look like me. Some of them come from the kind of tribe that I come from. Some of them are just as tall as I am, or as short as I am, or as energetic as I am, or as reserved as I am. So we do not know what exactly somebody will have to touch to be woken up. So whoever is listening to this, and this is open to both the male people and the female people.
So it's open to the public.
Yeah, it's open to the public.
Okay.
Because you see what? When they have woken up and they look nice, we end up marrying them, we end up working with them, they end up being our sisters and brothers, our mothers, etc. So it's for the benefit of everybody. And that's why for me, I really take it so seriously, because this good we are sending into them will still come back to us.
Where can people get the tickets for the event?
Well, we have lots of information about how to register. Mostly, we are very vibrant on LinkedIn, so the registration link is there, etc. I wish I could be able to share it here right now. But if somebody visits our page on LinkedIn, Zaunfall Publishers, or the pages of any of these ladies, all that information is out there.
Actually, the ladies have been sharing a lot on LinkedIn, and we've been able to repost. So if you're watching, you can follow them directly and get the information
Any
there.
of them, because they are very vibrant, and I like the noise that they are making out
Yes.
here. It's so noisy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They even built my profile up a bit. Thank you so much. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And let me tell you, you have made superstars out of these women. They have a special place in somebody's heart. Whoever you've touched them deeply. And I've gotten calls throughout the week.
Wow.
There is one point where there was an entire administration office listening to the women who came in one day, on one of the days this week. So do not underestimate what you have done, because it has empowered a lot of people who have this, not only women but also men, in different ways. This has just been an amazing project. I am so honored to have been having you all in studio. Looking forward to how far this book goes, and how far it will take a lot of people in this country and change their mindset and some of the ways that they lead their lives. Thank you so much. Peter Bomba says, great conversation, 100%. We hope to have more. We'll be looking to host more next week in our different shows, but you're welcome back to the studio anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been having the publisher and the authors of the way she leads. I like her because you can see it right there in full view. It looks like one big book on screen. You can find it for yourselves. I hear it's also on Amazon now. You can buy it on Amazon. People are already pre-buying them. So you can buy them globally from wherever you are. Get yourself a copy. Do not borrow from me, because I will not share. Just get yours. How much is one?
2,500 bob.
2,500. It will be a very special case for you to borrow from me, but just buy yours for 2,500, quite an affordable price. And of course, get to learn more from these ladies. It's the way she leads, insights and lessons from the lives and experiences of women who lead. We'll be back right after this. Keep it right here on The Breakfast Jam.
Just do our thing, no time to waste. Always play it cool. And at the end of the night, when the lights go out, will we turn down? Oh no, we won't. We ain't never turned down. We ain't never turned down. And when they try to make us leave, we turn and say we're never going home. And you know just what I wanna do. I wanna rock with somebody. Take shots with somebody. Shots. I wanna leave with somebody. Come on. And we ain't gotta tell nobody. We ain't gotta tell nobody. Why can't everybody know what's good? We're our only plug. what I wanna do. I wanna rock with somebody. Yeah. I wanna take shots with somebody. Shots. I wanna leave with somebody. Come on. And we ain't gotta tell nobody. Nobody.
We are finishing off with the interview this morning. Thank you so much for being here, waking up again quite early to be here with us. Of course, imparting so much wisdom. Parting shots. Let's start with Tianto.
Yes, my parting shot is that as women in leadership, let's be like the sons of Achacha, that we understand the seasons. Those are the times and what we ought to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you understand the season? That now I'm in the season of thriving, I have a business that I'm running, and this is what I'm required to do.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to define my day's level of performance.
Right.
If you're in that life pause season, you understand that that is a season that currently I'm dealing with. Mm-hmm. So what do I need to do?
Right.
I need to define my day's level of performance. Mm-hmm. Why? So that your true capacity, your true potential is actually exuded from your day, and you are able to experience the results that really are deserving to be seen based on your capacity.
Right.
Not based on your circumstances.
Yes.
Not based on your hijackers, the day's hijackers, but on your true capacity. Let it come out by defining your day's level of performance.
Right. And not overburning yourself. The performance also should be about, like I said, how much you're able to do.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't know how to do that.
Yes, but how do you know how to do that? Is by having a release system in a day. How do you release? Because during the day you are faced with so many things. So you must have a system of releasing that burnout, days burnout.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait for a whole month. So it's just having the systems in place as an individual, have a bit of self-love. I've also spoken about that in a day. Can you love yourself? It's a way of releasing the pressures of the day.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It's a lesson I need to learn as well. Elishiba, what is your parting shot?
I'll call it brevity and bravery.
Okay.
Brevity is just for us to remember how short life is. It comes from the word brief. And one of the things I mentioned in my chapter is that I lost my dad at a very young age. When he was very young, he was not even 40. So and we were very young, and my mom was very young. And it took, and I think part of that has always been in my back, at the back of my mind, that life is short and it can be snuffed out at any moment. And that's one of the positive things I would say that has come out of that, is that I choose to live life fully, daily, and that would be my encouragement to everyone, that we live life. You're gonna die anyway, so make it worthwhile. Whatever position you're in, whatever talents, capacities you have, make full use of them, and not just for yourself. I keep insisting on this. It has to be for the others. The bravery part, and I usually celebrate my mom because it took a lot of bravery for her to raise us. But the bravery part is very linked to the falling part, in the falling of the title of my chapter. That it takes bravery to try, even when you're afraid that you might fail, that you might fall, that you might fall again, that you might be embarrassed. I am a Toastmaster, and I happen to be president of my club, SEMA Toastmasters, and we are now in what we call contest season. And one of the things we are trying to do is to encourage people to participate in the contest. And for a lot of people, I think the limitation is, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Am I even that good that I can compete?
Right.
But because life is about bravery, it's just put yourself out there. And then as a leader, my role is to ensure that once you've said yes, then I equip you. This is what you need to do to prepare. And I'm giving the contests or the Toastmasters as just an analogy, but I think that's our role in leadership, is to equip more people to say yes, like what Doso was talking about. Our ability to say yes to this project is hinged very largely on other people who said yes before. I know for a fact that I spoke to an author who was part of the previous series, and she gave me the bravery, and I was like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? So the brevity of life should inspire us to be brave, to take risks, to be teachable, like we were talking about, and also to make sure that our leadership is in the service of others, so that when finally you die, there's that book by Robin Sharma, Who Will Die When You Cry? Who will cry? Well, yeah, hopefully. Who will cry when you die? And actually the book is not about death. Most people, when you see the title, you think that's what it's about, but it's really about whose lives are you touching, who will miss you genuinely, and I mean beyond like your family, because they'll miss you. Who will say, Sianto did this for me, Elishiba did this for me, Myra did this for me. And we have those opportunities every day to do that for others, for each other, for ourselves, but for each other. So the bravery and the brevity. Yeah.
I like that. Nice. Very nice. Parting shots.
Well, there is a word that we use a lot. I think all religions use it. The word Amen.
Yes.
Amen simply means let it be so, or permit it to be so. I think one of the things that was in the mind of God when he was deploying us here, he wanted us to be Amen people. Amen means say yes. Say yes to things. Say yes to life. Say yes to greatness. Say yes to friendships. Say yes to being resourceful. Say yes to productivity. Say yes to partnerships. And in this context, let's say yes to the resourcefulness that women bring to life.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, beyond the female container they have, these people are creative. These people are kind. These people are empathetic. They carry good energy. They carry warmth. They carry life. They carry ideas. They carry good productivity. We must say yes to it. And my challenge to the listeners is please begin to accept and work with the resourcefulness that is found within these women, because women are a huge resource that if empowered and permitted, can actually move almost every aspect of our lives forward. The economy can benefit, our society can benefit, our places can benefit, our families can benefit, and there is something beautiful that can come out of that. So anybody who's listening to us today, I want you to be amen people. Just say amen to it, and then watch the miracles coming after that.
Love that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. We look forward to your events on the 1st of November at the Trademark Hotel. It is open to everyone. Follow all these amazing ladies to get more details on that. All right. Thank you so much for being with us here.
Thank you.
On the Breakfast Jam.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
الحمد لله على السلامة ومرحبا بكم في سيدني. حرصنا على سلامتكم ونجمع في مقاعدكم مع بقى الأحزمة مربوطة إلى الخطة النهائية.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Tayari anichosha na kule nienda kundio mbali, naomba hata angalau tone moja la maji niweze kujituliza kooni, kwani sioni kivuli jangwani, na nina maswali mengi sana akilini na nina vidonda moyoni, lakini navificha
chana tabasamu langu la usoni. Hautaniona nikilia ingawa na mwaga machozi sijipati. Kama pesa sabuni ya roho, naomba niruhusiwe niweze kuiba benki. Kwani uchafu umezidi kidogo, nataka pia mie nioge niwe msafi. Oh mama, mama, mapenzi yake nipa kisoko, familia itangoja kidogo nisake senti. Oh mama, mama, kwani hii ni hali ya dunia, tumekubali kudanganywa na makafiri. Oh rafiki, safari, 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 ya mbali, safari, yote unayotenda na yote unayoniwazia ni mema. Huzuni sitaona, kwani mimi ninakutarajia. Kwa wakati wako ninakoenda, naomba unionyeshe njia ni penye wendo mshindi, ndo maana ni
1:55 a.m.
Oh yeah, yeah, hakuna patia, sinajua sherehe ni sheria. Panta kwa marafiki bandia, visimkia, sishiki mkia. Enye batia, figa namba 8 yani malkia. She wind it up and I switch gear, yeah, yeah. Sina nirarukia, personally, spiritually, I'm getting money, I'm legendary, yeah. About man, no one, no drama. And when I pull up with a gang, no holla. I never revenge, I believe in karma. Nikundina kubaya, I don't want no drama. Just vibes, my God, my God. I'm high, that's why your photo. That's why your photo. I don't want no drama. Just vibes, my God, my God. I'm high, that's why your photo. You know I'm party, I for sure.
All I wanna do, sip some liquor and booze with my guys and lady, oh. All night we the party, oh, oh. You know love is overrated. I wanna see you naked. You want chumo zango sing winches and izava izava bweru. Kauna dai basi twende, safety kit tunaiwake. Don't start something, I know your body wanted. Spend some million on my wife and chain. Flashy life, you know I must maintain. Send balls when I'm in my lane. All alone when I feel my pain. You know melody, I don't need no drama. When I pull up with the gang, no wahala. no revenge, I believe in karma. Nikundira kubaya. I don't want no drama. Just vibes, my God, I'm high. That's why your photo. That's why your photo. I don't want no drama. Just vibes, my God, I'm high. That's why your photo. I'm party at the show.
Cheza hiyo dopa kititingiza topa mogoka inanionyesha leo nishuke na kamoja dunda lafu okota legeza putatokwa si tumezoza tangu enzi zaki watu washikane wawili witaleta mbili lazima stawaka so nimejipini mazigizigi stingonza kided so nacheza na kiwiliwili nishatepa kebin moshi meja kwa watu washikane wawili witaleta mbili lazima stawaka so nimejipini mazigizigi stingonza kided so nacheza na kiwiliwili nishatepa kebin moshi meja kwa wingi
cheza doba je vile metubamba kubamba ni dobe nafanya una katika tu sana ni dobe nafanya unatekewa mapiala ni dobe nafanya unakatiwa haraka ni doba je vile metubamba kubamba ni doba je vile metubamba tu sana ni noma je vile metubamba kubamba ni noma je vile metubamba tu sana ni noma je vile nanifanya kuchana ni gat na maji pale za betagzini madani hila lafu steki moja ya yasin uwezi kompea godi zetu tuna ship ni dobe nafanya madenge wataitana kuzoza tumetoka east mpaka London na songo kibonda kwa block washani hona misi nanga chills unapimo na mabit ati unalipa bills mina mpeleka to east after this kila weekend tuko west ni ma drinks na ma champagne kama Mr. Rick Ross nikamba ya Rosa kila home ni pro mchezo gani demana ni no come slow tuko na leka boss tuko job then show antaka ni waseti ya kingdom na mshow madamu wendi home madamu wenga doba vile metubamba kubamba ni dobe nafanya una katika tu sana ni dobe nafanya unatekewa mapiala ni dobe nafanya unakatiwa haraka ni doba vile metubamba kubamba ni doba vile metubamba tu sana ni noma vile metubamba kubamba ni noma vile metubamba tu sana cheza doba vile metubamba kubamba ni dobe nafanya una katika tu sana ni dobe nafanya unatekewa mapiala ni dobe nafanya unakatiwa haraka
It's always a good time. It's always a good time.
Woke up on the right side of the bed. What's up with this Prince song inside my head? Hands up if you're down to get down tonight. 'Cause it's always a good time. Slept in all my clothes like I didn't care. Hopped into a cab, take me anywhere. I'm in if you're down to get down tonight. 'Cause it's always a good time.
Good morning, good night. I wake up at twilight.
It's gonna be alright. We don't even have to try. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. We don't even have to try. It's always a good time.
sokoni wanamngojea, kina mama kwa mikeka, wazee kwenye kahawa, kwenye kona wao wameketi wanachonga. Amefanya nini? Nani? Kisanga ametenda gani? Kumbe ni Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. 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 Mwenye siri karibia utufichulie, mwenye siri karibia utusimulie, kweli rongo no, haijalishi bora moyo ifurahishe. Amefanya nini? Nani? Kisanga ametenda. Kumbe ni Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Oh, yazidi, yazidi. Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Kumbe ni Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Ruma Nairobi. Ruma Nairobi. Ruma, 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 Ruma Nairobi. Ruma, Ruma, girls, you know you better watch out. Some guys, some girls are only about that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing.
It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was about to Benjamins? You act like you ain't him, they give him a little trim to begin. Now you think you really gon' pretend like you wasn't down and you called him again. Plus when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. If you did it then you probably can. Talking out your neck saying you're a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the gin. Now that was the sin that did Jezebel in. Who you gonna tell when the repercussions spin? Showing off your ass cause you thinking it's a trend, girlfriend. Let me break it down for you again. You know I only say it cause I'm truly genuine. Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem, baby girl. Respect is just the minimum. Nigga, you still defending them now. Lauren is only human. Don't think I haven't been through the same predicament. Let it sit inside your head like a million women in Philly pen. It's silly when girls sell their souls because it's sin. Look at where you be in. Hair weaves like Europeans. Fake nails done by Koreans. Come again. A win-win, come again. A win-win, come again. My friend, come again. Guys, you know you better watch out. Some girls are only about that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. dedicated to the man. More concerned with his rims and his Timbs and his women. Him and his man come in the club like hooligans. Don't care who they your fan, Papa Yang. You got yang. Let's not pretend. The one that pack pissed out by the waist, man. Crissed out by the casement. Still the name of this basement. The pretty face man claiming that they did a bid, man. Need to take care of their 3 and 4 kids. Been the face in court case when the child support late. Money taking, heartbreaking. Now you wonder why women hate men. The sneaky silent man. The punk domestic violence man. The quick job asking them stop acting like boys and be men. How you gon' win when you ain't right within? How you gon' win when you ain't right within? How you gon' win when you ain't right within? Come again. Yo, come again. The red drink, come again. And six drink, come again.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
Say my life is a dream. Tuko na ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Back then tulisota. Kwa shingo ni mabling. Na kwenye mkono ni mamota. Tukikutana kwa malobi. I said tunagota. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni.
For real, man, you already know, man.
Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni.
Man, for real. Nendesha crown toka 110. Nilidabo maganji za manager. Madem hawanioni kaonger. Wakaniona wanadai yani ler. Kiona pesa unajicompose. Wanajua nimefika jumarashi ni ya comfort. Still gangster wrong rende na iko on toes. Niko mavitu flani white toka Augusto. Kwa majimi ni G, kwa beach mini daddy. Dem yangu kiyenyeji nilimgeuza body. Na hii dream misi wake up. Nalipa msupa ndasi white wa makeup. Adi mokoro waga stubborn. Ati apandi nduthi ati yeni mama skazo. Tuko cruising na mkuze. Mrenga piamu na ya zamani bado siuzi.
Say my life is a dream. Tuko na ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Back then tulisota. Kwa shingo ni mabling. Na kwenye mkono ni mamota. Tukikutana kwa malobi. I said tunagota. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Gang cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Sasa tunakula ni mi na my amigos. Na Carinhamus Casamidos. Wacha wasemeni na maringo. Uliza jeri nilishi maringo. Shine kama meno za wizo 5-8. Ukileta zako zile za hizo Skraumane. Na watoto wangu sio wasipo nitaonane. Elbow iko nje ya window na maubane. Side stories zetu kwa my USB. Men my G's ni my USD. Tana nijibanda usiku ni kempiski. Na usikamta yetu aiseni kuriski. Bata ni white kama njumu zangu. Wakiuliza siri gani mina Mungu wangu. Cruising kwa mashini tuko sini gani. Oh, by the way, fuck serikali. Say my life is a dream. Tuko na ganji tuliota. Na success is a thing. Back then tulisota. Kwa shingo ni mabling. Na kwenye mkono ni mamota. Tukikutana kwa malobi. I said tunagota. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising na ni. Cruising na ni. Tuko cruising nani, tuko cruising nani, cruising nani.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Kaka Empire is the
Weekendi magiz lazima tu inakuwa riski. Duma wote wanakwaga wako cheating. Meeting wapi yogala anapigwa meeting. Nyongeze whisky mapenzi kwangu tricky. Ting 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 risky. Shamata jin nataka chupa ya whisky. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Ting 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 risky. Weka the till niko na kishilling.
Sexy leo.
Risky, shamata jin nataka chupa ya whisky. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Ting 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 risky. Weka the till niko na kishilling. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. You guy my guy kuna malume lalisha. Kitendo cha giza kuna venye unatuangusha. Mpaka saa ya gala nashinda menitisha. The ting ting ilitoka karudisha. Na ni risky sana juu nina bigi sana. Ting ting big ting. Hapo tawezana huku ni bad neza kuchukulia madam kinila. Kani mapenzi kilishani ramba. Allow me nijienjoy we mzee niko free. So nikitaka na kutaya penga na tea. Na godha ya penga na scream. Ting 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 risky. Shamata jin nataka chupa ya whisky. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Ting 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 risky. Weka the till niko na kishilling. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Yomani sakop na bado kushiki fiti. Kila soko don't stop bado kufikishi. I'd rather not kuliko mutaridhishi. Mambo ya ngonswaga waga risky. Uko na heaven on earth for a girl. Hata ukigodha tena bado tunatugawa. Apan tambua na penani punan. Yebora pate tam. Weekendi magiz lazima tu inakuwa riski. Duma wote wanakwaga wako cheating. Meeting wapi yogala anapigwa meeting. Nyongeze whisky mapenzi kwangu tricky. Ting 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 risky. Shamata jin nataka chupa ya whisky. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Ting 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 risky. Weka the till niko na kishilling. Ting 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 risky. Anakukudim natoka nikiwa tipsy. Risky. Risky.
Hebu niongeze shot moja hapo hivi wallahi. Kwa ndani watu wamejam tu sana waze. Nairobi kugongewa ni constant waze. Kitu iguzi tu ni murima.
What an amazing week we've had thus far. It has been one for the books, literally. I have had such a great time talking to these phenomenal women this week. I'm looking forward to more sessions. We are looking to bigger and better things as we continue on just putting women in leadership at the forefront. I am so empowered. I am so inspired, and I hope you guys have been too. Like I said, it's been wonderful for the books, literally, and we're going to be continuing on as we continue to amplify Kenyan voices one show at a time. We have amazing shows coming up later on today. We do have Miss Sylvy Achacha and Myra Kageni, who are bringing Mr. Usitumia Mihadarati himself, simple boy. They're also going to be having an amazing R&B artist. What's his name? African Vic, who's going to be also be coming in. I saw Kelo Max is over there liking his stuff. I was like, "Bas, we have a good hey." Look at the hook over here she's choosing. But yes, we're gonna be having amazing artists coming into the studio today. So look out for New Music Friday. These girls are impressive. They're doing big things. They're putting you on to new music. You have to watch the show. Then we have Tangale and Innocent coming in later with Boom. You can't afford to miss out on epic vibes as you start off your weekend between 4 to 7 p.m. Now, I need you to head on over to the website and check out what we are doing with KCS. Put in your lucky numbers. That is your 6 lucky numbers, and spend between 50 and 1,000 bob only, and you can stand the chance of winning between 10,000 and 5 million shillings daily. The draws happen daily, and therefore you are eligible, once you participate, to participate and win. You can also participate by sending in your lucky draw numbers to pay bill number 292222, account icon. That's 292222, account icon. We're about to launch our project together, so stand by for that. Of course, remember to check out the events that are going to be going down 9th and 10th November. That's going to be at the Carnival. That is the Kiddie Cultural Festival. It's not just for kids, it's a family fun day. Going to be a lot of activities that are both engaging, fun, and of course educative, as well as we celebrate diversity. 300 bob for kids, 600 bob for tickets, 500 bob season tickets for kids, and for adults 1,000 bob only. You can get your tickets at Kenya Buzz now. Rush on over to Kenya Buzz and get your tickets and be part of this iconic and one-of-a-kind festival. 28th of November will be at Achacha Hotel for the Sustainability Connect Forum. That is going to be on a focus, or having a focus rather, on ESG. All things ESG will be discussed that day. Get to listen to amazing panelists, speakers, as well as probably get to pitch your very own startup for 5,000 bob only. Tickets are available on Fam Eve and as well as Little Cab. So go and check out the details on our website. Check out the details on our socials. That's iconradioke. Also for sustainability, check out that page, Sustainability Connect KE. Head on over also to Kiddie Karaoke for the Kiddie Cultural Festival, as well as Asmali Media. Get all the details there. All right, I'll put you in the know. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. We'll catch you guys again next week. Again, stand by for amazing shows only on Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
Reading my cool. Oh no. Oh no. You see my kind of vibe is expensive. Since 57 in the trenches. I see a queen and she's sexy. She got a body and a bend. Oh no. Let me show you how me like the party. Nipo. In the west side in La Kitty. Electro, plenty. On the streets be authentic. And me, I know like a Cuba. Move like a soldier, mama. As I dey move, she dey move, I dey move. And I tell her to come to the Zangana. Girl, I see the way that you're looking into my eyes. I'm a jaye, I check and share. My energy there tonight. Baby, allergy, 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 allergy.
Keep on, tell me why you be looking like Zazu. See money, they go talk, say na Yahoo.